Now, following the recent U.S. strikes on a bandit enclave in Sokoto and some northwest locations, which inflicted heavy losses on the bandits and forced them to flee southwards, there have been renewed attacks reported in the southwest and middle belt recently. In Ondo State, about 4 persons were reportedly killed when the newly relocated bandits sacked a security post. In Benue State, there has been an outcry by the people of Aondoakaa and environs, where the relocated bandits have killed several farmers as villagers report seeing them arriving in their vicinity in droves. Well, joining us this morning is former Attorney General of the Federation, Michael Aondoakaa, who has raised the alarm, calling for fresh U.S. airstrikes just a few days after Nigeria took delivery of military equipment to help it combat insecurity. Good morning and welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
Same to you, sir. Well, you have made a call that is causing a lot of controversy and drawing a lot of attention. You were quoted as saying that the U.S. airstrikes in Sokoto should in fact have started in Benue. And that you want President Trump, who has said, well, if Christian persecution in Nigeria continues, we have no option but to come back and order another airstrike in Nigeria. Well, I mean, as a Nigerian, as a man who has served this country at the highest level, don't you find it a bit odd that you'll be asking America to come to Nigeria and go from state to state to ensure peace and stability? You have recommended Benue today. Maybe tomorrow you will recommend Plateau. Where does that leave Nigeria's sovereignty? And is your call an expression of lack of faith in the ability of the Nigerian government to address the problems you identified?
Thank you very much, Barrister Abati. My call was in good faith. It did not in any way undermine the sovereignty of this country. If you get from what transpired, the Nigerian government said they acted, they gave the intelligence to the Americans. The Americans did not just come here. He said what was a corroboration. That is my understanding of what happened. And I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs was emphatic that the strike in Sokoto was a corroboration between the Americans and the Nigerian government. Nigeria gave them the intelligence. I said, if that is the case, as the bandits are moving away from Sokoto, concentrating within the Benue Valley, particularly around Benue State, and their environs, causing mayhem. My understanding is that the ground forces will move on them within the Benue axis. But it looks like, from what you said, they have come in numbers. They are overturning villages. I will give you a particular local government, which is Ukum local government. Out of 13 wards, there's an occupation of 10 wards. You can, at the main market in Ukum, which is the Zakiman main market that produces yams for the country, they have settled less than 3 kilometers away from the main market. And that is alarming. And what I said is that there should be the same collaboration between the Nigerian government and US government to flush them out anywhere they are trying to concentrate in a group. It extends up to the attack that happened in Oyo. Anywhere there is collaboration, there's concentration, the bandits are concentrating. There's need for either the Nigerian Air Force to move in, or if they do not have the capacity, then the same collaboration that happened with the US government to be able to flush them out. So avoid them causing mayhem. My main understanding was that the collaboration was intending to finally put a stop to this. I want to give you an example. When this crisis started, during the President Yar'Adua's time, because I always refer where I was an active participant, what the government adopted was no mercy. There was zero tolerance on mercy on the bandits. Anywhere we heard there was concentration, our military used to go there to flush them out. This is a situation that politics should be completely set aside, because you are talking of a situation where 80% in Benue State, 80% are farmers, and the farmers have been displaced. There's a potential danger of hunger that's even more serious than the mayhem being caused by the bandits. And this is why I still think that collaborating with US or any other country to flush out the bandit does not in any way undermine the integrity of this country. Okay. I have faith, great hope in the security architecture of Mr. President Bola Tinubu now. Okay. But it goes beyond having faith in government. It goes to practical action. Okay. And this action entails that government of Nigeria must collaborate with sister countries, neighboring countries, and collaborate with US to put a stop to this mayhem, because there's no purpose for this bandit. Okay. So, I mean... They are not saying... Okay. This is what they want. I will step in
at this point because, you know, you're asking for a little bit more than, you know, collaboration. You're asking for strikes. Now, we know that strikes come with two things. Airstrikes come with two things. Number one, casualties. Number two, the displacement of people. Now, I've also learned, and I would like for you to formally confirm, in the media, they are reporting that you are expressing your interest to contest for the governorship of Benue State in 2027. So once you confirm that, I want to know that as a chief security officer of a state, is the trade-off between killing, you know, dropping bombs to cause terrorists to disperse, is it worth it? You prefer that to casualties and internally displaced individuals as a result of those? Or are there not other mechanisms that can be deployed, especially using our own domestic forces, to resolve issues? So, are you running for governor? And as governor, do you think that it's better to drop bombs and cause chaos?
When I'm discussing issues of security, I do not intend to bring my personal ambition in, because the issue of security transcends beyond the issue of personal ambition. It's a matter of reality. Those who are saying there's genocide in Nigeria, there's no way you say they don't love Nigeria. There are people who are alerting the country of the danger that if this is not addressed, it will cause a bigger problem for the country. And it has nothing to do with politics. Of course, if I have interest in governorship and I am the governor, I exactly know what to do. We can raise internal security apparatus that will collaborate effectively in intelligence gathering and collaborate with the military, the Nigerian military, and get this job done. This is not a situation, we have had it before during the government of Ukum, during the government of Otom, during the government of Sosam. It was effectively checked. There was no question of the bandits occupying portions of lands in Benue or displacing farmers or preventing them from going to their ancestral homes. There was nothing like that. Suddenly, we try to play politics. We try to mix the issue with the ongoing political mayhem that's happening within APC in Benue, which I'm a member. This is something that is far beyond politics. This is something of the we of the government. You can't, Benue State government needs to rise up. Benue state government and Benue people have to get themselves prepared that they cannot be running away from their ancestral homes, but they should be reinforced to create an effective resistance. After all, the federal government appear to be backing them to ensure that they return back to their ancestral homes. But if that is not done, and the areas are being occupied, and now the bandits are relocating from Sokoto to those particular areas, creating a concentration that will become more effective for the bandits, then there's need for them to be bombed. It is easier for the internal security to sweep them out when they are not in concentration. But they bring a lot of weapons that are beyond the reach of ordinary local security militia. That is local vigilante groups. They come with weapons that are even more sophisticated with that of the military. Therefore, it is first to scatter them, then move in and displace them and allow for people to go back to their farms.
Two things. Number one, as a man from Benue that sees the killings, the genocide, the killings of Christians going on, how do you feel when you hear that the federal government is paying millions of dollars to help change their narrative with lobbying? That's number one. Number two, as a man from Benue, you said in the time of Suswan, things were a lot better. And the question is, what did they do then? Was it arming the people? And do you think it's best to arm the people to be able to mitigate so that at least they can fight back when this attack comes?
Thank you very much, Rufai. I did not say Suswam alone.
And the other person?
In fact, the resistance was more during Governor Otom than Suswam.
Okay, good.
But I'm saying that the government was on top of the situation. First, there was intelligence gathering. Government was alert. And anywhere there's influx of people that you do not understand, the government then will not allow them to settle. And we're able to provide effective information to the military and the police, and we were able to contain it. Also, we had a very strong vigilante group, especially during the Otom government. He had the anti-grazing law, and the law was being enforced. The idea was that if you come in with livestock, you must comply with the law. And there was an effective check on that. Rufai, when you come to issue of lobbying, I act on facts. I saw in the newspapers about issue of paying for lobbying. But I didn't want to comment about it because it is not a factual thing, it's an allegation. And I cannot follow speculation, no matter how strong, or suspicion, no matter how strong remains the suspicion.
The contract has been published. It's a factual thing.
I have not finished.
Okay.
I have not finished. I have not finished. I do not know the nature of lobbying. If the lobbying is effective to allow the bandits to remain to cause mayhem, then that is unfortunate. But if the lobbying is for us to get more effective weapon and support from America to effectively contain this, using our armies and our air force, that is a good development. Of course, our air force need to upgrade their weapons. They need to have new technologies which they need to lobby to buy. Those are the general perception I would expect. But if the lobbying, let me answer your question, is to effectively say, no, nothing should be done. The bandits should continue to ravage the country. Then I don't believe any reasonable government will be looking in that direction.
So the lobbying was against the narrative of there's no Christian genocide that made our country a country of particular concern. That's one the lobby. And the contract has been published. In fact, it leaked. That's why it's a big story. There's a company called Astel Legal that is facilitating the contract. Two, I asked a question initially. I said, should we arm the people in solution to all of this? Should we set up more local militias and arm them effectively so that when they come to the communities, they can fight back?
the good news now is that even the federal government is complaining of setting up forest rangers. And I think the idea of the forest rangers is to confront these people within the forest that they have continued to be. Every state government, down to the southwest, they have set up security apparatus. The idea is to locally contain this menace that is ongoing. We had one during the autumn government, which it was forest rangers. The same thing federal government is contemplating now. And the idea was that the first group do not come in group, they come in few numbers. And if our local vigilante groups can contain with those, it will be difficult for a larger group to come. That has been the focus. And the focus has always been that I, as a person, and I'm talking as Mikey Aondoakaa, I do not differentiate between the life loss of any person living within Benue State or within Nigeria. The distinction of Christians happens to be that the occurrence is happening in areas that predominantly Christian are existing.
Okay.
Without being checked.
All right.
If you go to Sokoto, you will discover that the mayhem caused by the bandits is happening to Muslim more predominantly because the population is there. But what is important now for this country or for my state is that every life matters.
Absolutely. On that
every
note,
single life. If it is unfairly taken away by Bhakti, it should be the concern of government.
Yeah, absolutely.
Irrespective of whether the person is a Muslim or a Christian. We should be in a position to know why
your points are duly noted,
kill that person.
Your points are duly noted. We thank you so much for your time. That's Michael Aondoakaa. And just to clarify, the Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938 has been registered and published in the United States, and the context of the contract that has been signed is specifically that the DCI group shall assist the Nigerian government through Asta Legal in communicating its actions to protect Nigerians' Christian communities and maintaining U.S. support in countering West African jihadist groups and other destabilizing elements as stated in the contract, for the sake of clarity.